Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Mayerson from joyandsuccess.com, and I'm talking to Australia today, which is like really fun. To Sandra Inman, and I'm real excited to have her here and to talk to me about it. And I just want to welcome you, Sandra, for coming and talking with me and talking with my audience and your audience too. And welcome. Thank you for joining us. Me.
Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Um,
Thank you.
so I want to get you, we were started talking a little bit before about what to talk about and what to get started. And how'd you get involved with the tapping and the law of attraction, and when did you get started and all of that, and the coaching and spirituality?
Okay, I'll start with the tapping. I came across tapping because I was going through, I've periodically over my lifetime gone through periods of anxiety. So I was looking for a solution to my insomnia at the time because I hadn't been sleeping very well due to anxiety.
Mm.
And so I ended up on YouTube, as you do, and I just came across some videos on tapping for insomnia and was introduced to EFT, and it sort of fascinated me. And I was trying it for a few days, and then I decided to actually go to a hypnotherapist to do something about the anxiety and the insomnia. And he also did EFT, and I'd never heard of EFT before. And it's very rare to find somebody back then, because this is going back to about 2015.
Mm.
It was rare to find somebody who did EFT where I live, around the Brisbane area in Australia. So it was kind of an interesting coincidence. And so I went through the hypnotherapy with him, did some tapping, and I found that the tapping combined with the hypnotherapy was really helpful. But the tapping seemed to be much more helpful in the long term because the tapping could really get into all of the beliefs that I had about myself and the world around me that were actually causing the anxiety in the first place. Whereas the hypnotherapy just eased the symptoms temporarily, the tapping was actually getting into the depth of the core reasons and actually releasing and changing uh, that mindset around myself and the world around me. So I found tapping's being the most helpful modality for that.
So you started doing that, and then like combining that with law of attraction and the other work that you do. So we were talking about self-esteem and law of attraction and how all of that fits in to letting people, men and women, feel really good about themselves. And if you explain a little bit about exactly what you do and what your feelings are about, why do you think that people have such low self-esteem and struggle with that?
It's our upbringing. We're getting all of these negative messages from all places in our upbringing. We get it from school, we get it from our parents, we get it from the greater culture, we get it in the media. There's just this the shaming that goes on when we're children. And I know that children have to have parameters and children need to have guidance, but the shaming around normal behaviors, uh, it makes us doubt ourselves, and it makes us be very, very afraid to show who we really are. And also the shadow side of ourselves, like those parts of ourselves we're not allowed to manifest that are ugly when they are manifested, when they're not integrated or understood as to why they're there. uh, it becomes a part of self-loathing to even have these aspects of ourselves, like selfishness and greed and those things that we're trying to not be. We all have those in us. So it's understanding that rather than shaming ourselves for those times when we're selfish or greedy, what's the gift in these things, and how do we integrate our our need for plenty, our need for abundance, our need for self-care without it becoming something that is dysfunctional or something to be ashamed of. So all of these things go into our self-doubt. And then as adults, we have to reprogram our ego essentially. So from what I've discovered and from some of my teachers, the ego is that part of us that's trying to keep us safe. But we have this really negative view of the ego because it causes so much so many problems for us while it's trying to keep us safe. But it's programmed during the ages of 0 to 7 years of age. And we haven't updated the program. So we're still behaving like children. And what we need to do as adults with EFT is to change the program so that our ego can still keep us safe, but in ways that are positive and not dysfunctional or destructive.
Do you think it's well, EFT really certainly helps with that, but it's a process. Does it? You can't really do it just once and everything is terrific.
Oh no, it's a lifelong process. You never stop doing it. It's not like, yes, I'm going to do some tapping sessions and then suddenly I'm going to be enlightened and all of my problems are going to be solved. It's an unraveling of all of this stuff that I think personally we've picked up even prior to this life, because I do believe in reincarnation. So I think it's all of the stuff that we've been carrying with us ancestrally and culturally and also personally throughout lifetimes that we're working at changing and unraveling as we're evolving.
Do you find like the people, the clients that you work with, or people in general, don't really want to do it? They want to just skim the surface and just not really go deep into find out why their lives are a mess or pretend that they're better than they are.
I think that's the case for most people. Fortunately, most of my clients that I've worked with have wanted to go quite deep. So that's been a good thing. But I'd say by and large, most of the people that I've talked to or have discovery sessions with, they really don't understand the complexity of it. And they're really just looking for a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't a quick fix. There really isn't. There's no band-aid for this kind of pain that we're experiencing when we're experiencing self-doubt and self-loathing and being unworthy. But you can't put a band-aid on it, just do a couple of tapping sessions and expect it's all going to go away, because it's taken lifetimes to actually accumulate in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I find, especially in this day and age, what's happening in the world, a lot of people don't want to face what they're really feeling, and I, I mean, I loved going deep, and but most people I know don't want to even go even close there. But I think it's just so fascinating going deep, and it's just like really being able to just like uncover everything, and it's trying. It's not so easy, but I think most people, if they really allow themselves to do it, they would be so much more liberated and so much freer.
Oh yeah, it's amazing the difference it makes. Even from my own personal account, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I hadn't have started doing tapping. I'd still be working in an office job that was unfulfilling and feeling depressed and anxious and not fulfilling what I really feel I came here to fulfill. So even though it's hard work, it's not easy to go down into the subconscious and look at these things and feel the pain, realize that there's parts of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge, and acknowledge them and integrate them. It's not easy, but at the same time, there's still something very beautiful about it. There's something very beautiful about going down and into the subconscious and really discovering who you are. And although it's hard work and it's emotionally painful, it's nowhere near as emotionally painful as not doing it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, but, like people in my world don't do it, and so it keeps me separated from a lot of those people. But I guess like also we're very intuitive of how other people are, and if they would only just go a little bit deeper, and like I wish I could like wring people's necks, just don't you see what you're doing, or don't you understand why? But
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to keep quiet about all of that. Well, do you think we should do some tapping on self-esteem? Would that be fun? Or
Yeah, we can certainly do some tapping.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I would love to uncover more stuff about me. I always love to do that.
Okay, so I do a few different types of, so even though I started out learning like the basic recipe of Gary Craig's tapping. And I also did tapping into wealth coaching course with Margaret Lynch. So that's where the money thing really came in, where I've been tapping a lot with people over money beliefs and doubt around money, and particularly heart-centered business people who struggle with asking for money and charging what their services are really worth. And I've also incorporated other techniques that I've gotten from other people or learned from other people and used tapping with them, and found that the tapping just makes things so much more effective. So there's lots of different tapping techniques that I use that sort of diverge or definitely away from the traditional EFT tapping.
Well, I'd love to learn some more because I just do the traditional. So I would love to learn some more different tapping techniques. Do you want to?
Okay. So what do you find is going on for you at the moment that is causing blocks to moving forward, or you're talking about self-esteem? So what's going on inside your head? What are you saying to yourself, and how are you feeling when it comes
Um,
to?
well, moving forward, I'm having a difficult time with what's going on in the world because I feel very separated from everybody else in the world with law of attraction, and what you focus on expands, and everybody's focusing on this. That's why the virus is getting worse. And I have a really hard time. I think for me, probably my biggest challenge is letting people be who they are, and just feeling comfortable with myself, saying, "This is me. This is you. Let people be who you are. Just let me be who I am." And I think that, and money issues. Money is always an issue for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to. Well, for me, letting people be who they are, especially in this day and age, wearing the mask, which as my people know, I have a real issue with that, and just letting the world go on the way it's going on, and just me being able to stand in my own with my own self, um, and not get swept up or get angry or get upset with what's going on in the world. That's been a challenge for me.
Okay. So you're getting angry and upset about what's going on in the world. I'm
Yeah.
just going to take some notes when we're tapping, because I like to tap on exactly what you say, like what your exact wording is,
Okay.
because I find that to be most effective. And then maybe we can do a really quick technique that's really good at helping remove actual beliefs
Mm.
um, as well. But we'll just do some maybe general tapping as well. So you're saying that you're angry at what's going on in the world?
Yeah, I'm not happy with what's going on in the world, and I have to really step back and say, I create my own reality. I know that, I understand that, and let all the other people do what they feel like they have to do. But it's hard for me to do that. It's hard. It's hard for me, like with people that I know, that I want to shake them up and tell them about law of attraction. Stop talking about this. And I used to yell at the TV all the time, the politicians, stop talking about it. That's why it's spreading. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and and they're I mean, I still really believe that, and but most people don't. But I know law of attraction people do, and so it's nice to talk about it with law of attraction people.
So what do you find yourself saying to other people in your head?
Don't you get it? Don't you, like, I find people like wearing masks that are driving, and they're alone in the car, and they're wearing the mask, and I have to find myself. I keep on saying, don't judge, don't judge, don't judge. Let them do what they need to do. But my head is like, what are you going to give it to yourself? It's like, but I have to let them do what they have to do. And I certainly don't tell them anything, or certainly don't see that. So, um, yeah, my biggest thing is like in my own head, don't just don't judge them. Just let them be who they need to be. And I have to keep on reminding myself all the time about that. Or people walking down the street and there's nobody around them, but they're wearing their masks, and I have to remind myself, this is, if they're comfortable, let them do what they need to do. I'll do what I need
Okay.
to.
Mhm. So what's not safe about people um, wearing masks for you? What's not safe about, I guess you'd say it's kind of metaphorical, but what's not safe about what people are doing?
I guess it's probably self-esteem with me that I was judged in my life, and I people were trying to tell me what to do. They didn't let me be me, and which is the hardest thing, and like letting other people be them, be who they are. So I really want people to be who they are and feel, and I guess I didn't feel like I'm, so I learned how not to be who I am around people. And so I learned how to do that with other people. So I'm trying to change that because I see
Mhm.
what was done to me. And I mean, out of the goodness of their hearts, my family didn't know that any different, and people didn't know any different. But I'm seeing my own patterns of what I learned how to be around people. And I certainly don't want to do that to people. And
Yeah.
the constant thing that I'm working on, let them be them, and let me be me and you be you. So, I mean, people are still judging me and criticizing me, but I'm not taking it as personally as I used to take it.
So there's a couple of things that I've found that, because a lot of our problems come from fear. So it's where the ego's kicking in saying, it's not safe, it's not safe, it's not safe. So understanding that the ego is not feeling safe, it's trying to protect you, it's not feeling safe when it sees other people behaving in certain ways that make you feel unsafe. And there's also something you're telling yourself is it's not safe to be you either. So if it's not safe for you to be you, it's not safe for other people to be them either.
Right.
Um, yeah, so two really good, strong beliefs there that we can work around.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
yeah.
so we'll
Shining.
just we'll just start off doing some quick tap methods. So are you familiar with the quick tap method?
Hmm. What?
The quick tapping method. So
Uh,
with the basic EFT where you go through a round and then you do your fingers and then you hum a tune and do the counting.
oh yeah. I usually don't go there, but
Yeah,
that's
I don't go there.
if you'd like to do that, that would be fine. I mean, I've done it a few times, so
Okay, because I was just going to do the quick tap where we just do, yep, basic tapping points.
that's
Okay,
okay.
okay. So we'll start with the karate chop point. Okay. Even though
No,
I feel angry,
I feel angry,
angry at the world,
angry at the world,
angry at all of those people.
angry at all of those people.
Don't they know what they're doing?
Don't they know what they're doing?
Don't they get it?
Don't they get it?
I just wish they could get it.
I just wish they could get it.
And I'm just going to honor how I feel anyway.
And I understand and honor how I feel anyway,
Even though
even though
I get angry,
I get angry,
angry at the world,
angry at the world,
angry at what's going on in the world.
angry at what's going on in the world.
And then I get angry at myself,
And then I get angry at myself,
saying, don't judge,
saying,
don't judge others.
don't judge others.
But I do,
But I do,
and I don't like it.
and I don't like it.
I'm okay anyway,
I'm okay anyway,
even though
even though
I'm angry at what's going on in the world
I'm angry at what's going on in the world,
and I don't like it.
and I don't like it.
I don't like feeling angry,
I don't like feeling angry,
but I feel it.
but I feel it.
And I'm just going to love, honor, and accept myself anyway.
I'm just going to love, honor, and accept myself anyway.
Okay, so tapping on the point. This feeling of anger,
This feeling of anger,
this feeling of anger,
this feeling of anger,
anger at the world,
anger at the world,
what's going on in the world.
what's going on in the world.
And I say to myself,
And I say to myself,
just step back.
just step back.
And then I say to the world,
And then I say to the world,
don't you get it?
don't you get it?
Wearing masks alone in the car?
Wearing a mask alone in the car?
Then I say, don't judge.
Then I say, don't judge.
And then I say,
And then I say,
wearing masks alone in your car?
Wearing masks alone in the car.
Who are you going to give it to?
Who are you going to give it to?
Yourself?
Yourself?
I feel the anger.
I feel the anger.
It doesn't feel safe.
It doesn't feel safe.
It doesn't feel safe.
It doesn't feel safe.
That feeling of anger.
That feeling of anger.
Feeling that feeling of anger.
Feeling that feeling of anger.
It just doesn't feel safe.
It just doesn't feel safe.
When other people focus so intently
When other people focus so intently
on things
on things
that are making the world worse.
that are making the world worse.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay, so taking a deep breath and letting it out. And any thoughts, feelings, or sensations?
No, I mean that felt really good because just being able to just release it, and I think being able to express how I feel felt really good, and I think it if I started out at a 10, I'm down to a 7 or 8, and brought it
Oh,
down.
good.
Just, and just yeah, being able to express how I feel safe to express how I feel, and with you, with my audience, tapping, and that felt good. Feels good.
And that's what, so I think that's one of the magic things about tapping is one of the things is just hearing ourselves talk about what we're feeling. And because the tapping's calming our nervous system down as we're doing it, we're becoming less anxious or less afraid of what it is we're talking about. So it makes it easier for us to be honest with ourselves, but not to be negatively attached to this image of ourselves as having to be perfect. We can start to laugh at ourselves and we start to loosen up as well, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's really helped me a lot. I've done a lot of tap. Well, I've always done a lot of tapping anyway, but certainly during this time, made me do a lot of tapping. Helped me to do a lot of tapping. And if there's nobody around to talk to about it, who doesn't get it, doesn't understand, I do, and so I can tap with myself, and I'm like, it really helps loosen it up. And that's why I love tapping and just introducing it to more and more people. And so but that felt great. That felt great. And about shining and letting other people be who they are. And I think a lot of people don't let themselves be who they are because they don't feel safe. And
Yeah.
it doesn't feel safe to be who they are. And I'm learning for myself who I can talk to and who I can't. And even though it's frustrating, I wish I could talk to people that, especially family people, that I know don't get it. But I know that if I want to have a relationship with them, I have to just back off or just write it down, write my feelings down. So I think that was great. And I think that's going to help a lot of people feel good about themselves and feel really much better about who they are, and it's safe that they can be themselves.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause that's a belief. It's not safe to be me, is a very
Yeah.
common belief that a lot of people have. And if it's not safe to be you, then it's not safe for other people to be themselves either, because everything's a projection of ourselves. So when we can not judge ourselves anymore, when we can not feel shame anymore, when we can feel worthy, all of that judgment and negative feeling towards people outside of ourselves, it instantly goes away. It's like you don't even have to try to stop judging other people when you stop judging yourself. It's like an automatic thing that happens because you've forgiven yourself, you can forgive other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas a lot of people, and we're taught this in our upbringing, that it's all about, forgiving other people. And it's all about the other people when we haven't learned to forgive ourselves. So it's impossible for us to forgive other people.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right. I mean, I think the more that I see how much I judge other people, I'm really judging myself because I've been judged. I'm like, it's okay. Don't you can be you and have your own opinions, and other people can be themselves. So
Yeah.
this was so great. Now, how can people find out about you?
Well, I've got the Sandra Inman YouTube channel, which is yeah, just under my name, Sandra Inman. That's the tapping channel. I've also got a website, mysterywitchschool.com, and my Facebook page is Sandra Inman as well. So that's related to the tapping side of things as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, this
Mm.
is great. This was like really fascinating, and I'm sure people are gonna like get onto your YouTube because people, that's how I found her, and I love listening to her and tapping with her. So everybody, just thank you for joining us, and check out her website and check out her information, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.